do it later too. I just want to make.
No, let's do it now.
Okay.
Okay, we're recording now. So thank you for coming onto the channel, and you know, helping me, you know, trying to understand the voter fraud. It was you that, you know, helped with, you know, showing the IP addresses and whatnot. But there's additional information that should be shared to the public that goes over and beyond my first video. So could you please, you know, take over and drive the ship here?
Sure. There are, first off, two different issues. One is Dominion, its server and where its information is going back and forth between the United States and Serbia and other places around the world. And the concern is, okay, what's that information? Is it being monitored by the national security agencies that are supposed to be doing it? Because that doesn't sound right.
Well, even if it's being monitored by the national security agencies within our government, it doesn't mean that they're on our side.
Right, exactly.
You know, they could be watching it and just letting the Trojan horse happen.
That's true. See you later.
Right.
Later,
so
Trump.
This is the issue that we have is that we have the Smith-Mundt Modernization issue with the media promoting domestic propaganda. And then we have a deep state that is so entrenched in so many different aspects of our government that literally we can't trust anything.
Right. Yeah, we have to double check everything. And then you're a conspiracy theorist because you looked it up.
Right.
So
well, you know, the thing is we're the watcher of the watcher. That's how I see it. You know, if we don't do what we're doing, then no one's watching the watcher.
Right. And we're getting run down the road to another war or something stupid like that happening, and we don't need to be doing that. So
with that said, just, you know.
With that said, I know you're on a time crunch. So the Serbia thing with Dominion, and so national security is supposed to be watching that, but the agency that is in charge of cybersecurity and taking care of the elections is being hosted by China. So all of China servers are hosting our national security, cybersecurity agencies.
And I think that there's a connection. I think honestly, there's a tangential connection to when we lost the control of the IP addresses during Obama's administration.
Sure is exactly what happened. And then in addition to that, there's the DOJ is on the Chinese servers. There's several different agencies. All of the prisons, state prisons, federal prisons are on it in the United States. So they're aware of all that stuff. ICE is on it. Okay, so you start to see the ramifications of they are seeing and know everything. There's a matter of fact in the WikiLeaks article on the Chinese company, the FBI uses the exploits that they have for Facebook to spy on Americans. So just put that in your head. Okay, there's exploits that China has on their servers for looking into Facebook that the FBI uses, knowing it's hosting all this stuff.
See, what is interesting for the individuals that are watching this channel, this is what I've been saying about the over surveillance and the overreach of these agencies right after 9/11, and it will continue to grow with this Biopatriot Act by using this crisis to create a whole set of new regulations and new agency powers that will surveil us. And we're looking at the boiler room of the infrastructure and how they do it.
Right.
That's the important part to this. This is behind the scenes how they do it.
Exactly. And the part that really irks me is that the people like the Adumb Schitts and so on that are involved in behind the scenes, like they're in charge, like BlackRock Financial handles large quantities of the government employees' retirements. Well, they're turning around, taking that money, and they're investing in federal prisons and state prisons. And so
they're also taking that money and investing it overseas.
Right. And so
into China.
right? You have judges now putting people away into prisons that they're getting money from because that's their investment too. It's just, it's real strange like that. They're also underneath the Adumb group. So it just, it snowballs from there. It concerning, and where's the check and balances of all this, and how do we take care of this? And I just saw this yesterday, put it all together, and I wanted to bring it to somebody who would take a look at it or submit it to people out of the different agencies and look at it and track everything down, make sure that
Well, I get, obviously I looked at it. I did, a quick video, where this is an appendage to that video
right.
when this gets published. I gave it to Prather. Prather's investigating it. He's got, Prather, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so he's investigating it. And then George has a copy. David Devine has looked at it. He concurred that he had the same. I have to plug in my laptop. It's running out of battery.
No problem. Crunch on you.
But he concurred. He read the documents and he concurred the same thing that our thoughts, that the Chinese government are heavily involved here,
right?
And that there should have been proper protocols in place to make sure that none of this would have happened. That all of the data, everything was housed in the United States. And when you have a company that's headquartered in Cambridge, Massachusetts, all right, I am sure that they have the technology to keep all of the data in the United States. It didn't go to, I'm positive of that. All right. So
the FBI stuff's not on there. The FBI's not on there. They're not on the Chinese.
Just so there's a lot of nefarious things going on here. And so but the thing is that there was a Trump supporter being interviewed on CNN during the rally in DC.
Mm-hmm.
And she's talking to her and she asks, why are you protesting the vote? The CNN reporter is asking the Trump supporter. And the woman said, the Trump supporter, she said, well, basically there's voter fraud through this Dominion system. And then the CNN reporter is saying, that's a conspiracy theory. That never really happened. That's a lie. You're just, we need to educate you, kind of thing. But this is what's important about what you're doing is that you're showing to everybody, hey, this really happened. And not only that, here is the address.
Right. And the time, and there's the public keys are in there to the encryptions. The public keys are there and everything. You can see it. You can't deny what that is and what's happening. There's no way around it. So it's all there. And I know you got short time and I can go on forever and get really deep into this, but I'll give you all the documents that I have. And so that you can show whoever wants to see it, look at it, and then run it themselves. And that's kind of what I wanted to do, is just kind of give you a basic of, look, this is what I found. This is where I found it. And this is concerning. Even the 11 vulnerabilities of the Dominion server for the internet. Shodan is used for testing your equipment out, but see if there's vulnerabilities on it. And if there is one, it'll identify it for you and give you the fix for it, right? So it's open to everybody who wants to do it. Go there. So I went to Shodan, 11 vulnerabilities to compromise the server.
And this is something that our agency should have done and made sure that all those holes were plugged.
Not only the holes, but keep it in the little box of America. They needed to do is pretend like they were controlling conservative people talking.
Right. No, that's true. That's true. That's exactly true. How they put us in a box, and make sure that we can't tweet and we can't post on Facebook and say certain things on YouTube.
Right. What did you say? Did you say
that's more secure than our actual voting system.
Than our voting. So
that's a good point. But is there any way that the documents that you sent me could be put into like a Google Drive?
Yeah, sure. Yeah. Yep.
And that for me, that would be easier. And I can put the link in the video, this video and the other video, and then people can go and actually see the documents. Because a lot of people are going to see the video and say, I want to read all the documents because I don't want to just see it, some video screenshot.
Yeah, yeah, totally. And I got that. And I'll do that here in 2 seconds as soon as we're done. Put it in
just send me a link, and then I'll put that in the description box, and then people can watch it.
Got it.
Read it. But this is going to be an ongoing thing.
Yeah, this is not.
And we're going to have to, stay up on it. But this kind of reminds me of the whole early days of the Wuhan virus. so buckle up because it's going to be a wild ride.
Yeah, Charlie 19. We're not going to call it that other thing.
It's like, oh my God.
Charlie,
but it feels like it feels like we're like Jack Ryan in a Jack Ryan novel, doesn't it? I mean, it's like it's insane.
Like Groundhog's Day, stupid.
It's like, hey. Okay, so just send me the link. I'll put it in the description box. I'll post it. Right now we're recording, so it'll convert the recording, and then I'll put it up right away on the channel. And if you want to be in the chat box, because I'm sure people will have questions. So I mean, if you have time, maybe you can answer questions through the chat box. Yeah, I won't be able to have time to watch it.
Yeah, I knew you.
So I got to jump into it into a lecture here, but yeah, thank you for your help, and let's stay in touch, because this is going to be an ongoing thing, and there's going to be more pieces that get plugged.
There's going to be some pissed off people.
Well, yeah, I'll tell you. I mean, people need to see. I think the biggest power of these documents is that it shows that packages left the United States and went to Europe, and that the company has improprieties that are tied to the CCP. And that with this election being so important, and that Trump is so anti-CCP, that there is a high probability of CCP involvement in the voter fraud. And that's on top of the regular scorecard flipping.
Issue. Or NATO.
Right. So it's like you got you have the mail-in ballot issue coming in late that should have never been counted. You have the scorecard flipping, and then you have data that's going outside of the country that CCP can see.
Just so we know of.
Yeah, right. That the CCP can see, and then we get it back, and then it gets on the screen on CNN. Honestly, I have no faith in those numbers. The only way is to recount by hand.
Right. And
that's the only way. And that you have to have a Democrat observer and a Republican observer for every single manual count.
With the same ability to be the same distance apart from the ballot.
So, all right, well, let's close out on this broadcast, and then I'll publish, and then if you can be in the chat box and just state that, hey, you're there for answering questions anyone has, and maybe you can field some questions, whatever. But all right, thank you very much. Talk to you later. Okay.